the end of the day, as consultants, we've all got to become marketers. And the first step to becoming a marketer is understanding how do you shape an offer that gets people to put their hand up and say, yeah, I'm interested. And being able to do that not just on email or with warm referrals and people who know you, but being able to do that in channels that are a little cooler is a really important part of growing a business, because ultimately building a network, engaging that network and having people come through going, hey, I'd like to talk to you about that topic, is the foundation of building a business. And your offer is just as much about qualifying people in as it is about qualifying people out. Because being the person who solves everyone's problems and being somebody who wants to help everybody is the first step to becoming a generalist and becoming invisible. Hey there, expert. If you're a consultant looking to grow your practice to 500K and beyond, then this masterclass is a preview into some of the strategies and tactics we teach our experts around sales, marketing, and how to create high converting offers and delivery system so they can enjoy more profit without sacrificing their lifestyle. Now, if you like this session, please give us a like, a subscribe, or even comment, as every bit of engagement helps get this message out to more people. Anyway, enjoy the masterclass, and we hope to see you in person, on a call, or at one of our events soon. What we're talking about today with lead messages, this is a really important part of your campaign and part of your business development journey. No matter how you swing it, at the end of the day, as consultants, we've all got to become marketers. And the first step to becoming a marketer is understanding how do you shape an offer that gets people to put their hand up and say, yeah, I'm interested. And being able to do that not just on email or with warm referrals and people who know you, but being able to do that in channels that are a little cooler is a really important part of growing a business, because ultimately building a network, engaging that network and having people come through going, hey, I'd like to talk to you about that topic, is the foundation of building a business. And your offer is just as much about qualifying people in as it is about qualifying people out. Because being the person who solves everyone's problems and being somebody who wants to help everybody is the first step to becoming a generalist and becoming invisible. And I know that sounds really strange, but ultimately I'll see a lot of consultants, the first thing they want to do is try to be as available to everybody. They want an offer that speaks to everybody because they think that more equals better, and the more that I do, the more people I can help, and therefore the more money I will earn. And like everything in life, the dichotomy of this is that it's the opposite. People want to work with specialists. People want to work with people who they can easily define and understand what you do, so they can label you and in their mind understand why they need you. Just like when you go into the kitchen, if you want coffee, you reach for something that says coffee. You don't go into the kitchen and go, what do I want today? I want coffee, and you scan the shelves in your supermarket. I have this great metaphor. When you go down a supermarket aisle, you go into a supermarket, and in the supermarket is everything that you guys want, right? There's everything: tea, coffee, fruit, bread, chocolates, cereals. And often what they say is before you go into a supermarket, you should write down the things that you want. Very few people do that, so they end up buying a lot of stuff that they don't. The goal of marketing in this example is that the packaging of the product is the thing that sells. People spend a lot of money and a lot of time designing packaging to make you buy their version of the product. So going back to that example, if you want coffee, you walk into a supermarket to go for coffee, the first thing you do here in Australia anyway is you will look at the aisle that says tea coffee, right? So you have to label what it is. So you know you're in the right place. You're not going to waste your time. You're not going to scan up and down the aisles. You're going to go to the aisle that says coffee, right? Everyone with me so far? Then you walk down the aisle that you believe is the right aisle for you. And as you walk down the aisle, you turn to your right, you turn to the left, and then you see the coffee section. And there's not just one coffee, there is 50 coffees. There's packaged coffee, there's coffee beans, There's coffee tea bags, there's instant coffee, there's coffee from different countries, there's coffee infused with chocolate and caramel and vanilla. And these products are ultimately coffee. So you go down the aisle and you've got to choose what you think is the right coffee for you. So you go down, you think, well, my favorite coffee is this one. Suddenly see another coffee and you're reading the label and you're like, why is this different? This is 100% Arabica. This one is made from the bowels of a small marsupial that runs through the forest in the Amazon. And you choose the thing that you want for you. If you take this example, if you try to be the supermarket and you try to sell all of the products and all of the items on all of the shelves, you end up having a lot of people who come in and a lot of people who walk away. And they might buy one thing once, but they don't know how they can link you to something that they need over and over and over again. So the clearer you become about the kind of offer that you have and the kind of ask that you want when it comes to a lead message, it's a very small ask. And the question would be, would you like coffee? It's not, would you like to go to the supermarket? And if someone says, yes, I'd like coffee, the next question is, what kind of coffee do you like? Do you like instant coffee? Do you like whole coffee beans? Or do you like something mixed with something sweeter? And they say, I'm all about coffee beans. Fantastic. Here are my options. And then you can help them, you can give them exactly what you want. So many consultants and so many of you are used to going out to the market saying, I'm a business consultant. I'm a HR specialist. I'm a management consultant. I'm a marketing consultant, aka I'm a supermarket. And you expect them to know what it is that you do, thinking that if I say I'm a supermarket, you will know what you need and you'll ask me and then I will be able to tell you and then we'll have this chat and you'll buy something from me. The reality is that people don't know what they need. 9 times out of 10, people feel what they need, but they don't know what they need. And there's a difference. So if I wake up with a feeling like, I'm tired, I feel like I need something to wake me up, and I go onto Facebook and there's an ad for coffee, I will link what I feel to what I need. It's the same with business consulting. The more you stand for something, the more engagement you'll get around it. The more money you'll be able to charge because ultimately you're not trying to solve everything for everyone, right? So I'd like to I'll give you a bit of an example. If I think about, has everyone heard of Pareto's law? Pareto's law, 80-20. Basically what it states is that 20% of your market, of what you do, what you say, and what you deliver will give you 80% of the result that you want. Everyone heard of that? And if you've heard of that, just let me know in the chat if you've heard of that, just so I'm clear. So I'm just trying to color this in while you guys are responding. Do this. This is kind of what it looks like. Everyone know Pareto's law? Yep, heard it before. Anyone else? Anthony's the only one. I want you to think about your lead message, not familiar. So yeah, great. So for those of you who don't know, Pareto's law, if you just quickly want to Google it, is that they believe that there's 20% of something creates 80% of the impact. So 20% of you might have 10 different offers, 10 different services, 10 different types of clients that you work with, 10 different kinds of systems and softwares and all different kinds of things. Pareto's law says if you look at your whole business, 20% of what it is that you do, so 20%, so out of the 10 things that you do, 2 of them are actually bringing in 80% of the revenue. Out of all the customers that you help, 20% of a particular market segment is bringing you most of the opportunity. When it comes to using different software or tools, 20% of the features of that software are what you use that give you 80% of the outcome that you want. When you think about all of the marketing efforts that you do, it's usually 20% of the activities that you're taking are bringing in 80% of the outcome. The goal is to know what 20%. So when we talk about a lead message, what we're actually trying to do is create leverage. We're trying to understand, go out to somebody with a, what I call a 20, with a Pareto principle, where we go, I'm doing this one thing to get people to say yes, knowing that that's also a link to the bigger thing. So what I mean by that is, if we think about our money model, we do all of these things, right? We have a whole model. We have this big outcome in the middle, and then we have a couple of elements around it. We have a problem that we solve, 3 of them. We have prescriptions that we recommend to people. And then as you move through, for those of you who are just starting the program, you'll go through this. You'll see that there's, under each problem, there's kind of like 2 or 3 pieces that we categorize our IP in. So out of all of that, you're like, that's the supermarket. That's my supermarket. It ultimately leads to this big outcome. What we know is that to get people into your business, 20% of the strategies that you know and teach, 20% of the frameworks that you have, 20% of the different problems that you solve will bring in 80% of the interest and opportunity that you need. The goal is to understand and to realize, well, what is the 20% that helps you achieve the 80%? So our goal today is to help you uncover what that 20% is that you can deploy that's going to give you an 80% outcome. Now, I preface this by saying marketing is testing. I wish that there was some tool, and AI is making this actually more possible, and we're going to be showing you some of these things in the upcoming intensive. But marketing is one part creativity and one part science and mathematics. What it is, and most people only look at the creative part of marketing. So if I break this down for you guys, if you think about marketing in 2 parts, maths and creativity, most of the time we want to spend our time in creativity because it's fun, it's easy. 80% of the time, you could say, we want to spend creating, right? Creating is like coming up with the words and the brand and the colors and all of these things. We procrastinate in creativity because it makes us feel productive. 20% of the effort and the information and the insights will come from maths, by understanding the numbers. So when I say, how many messages did you send? And you say, I don't know, you're working harder, not smarter. Because it's never a matter of this doesn't work. It's a matter of this is telling me a story. And the only way we can understand what the story is to test creativity, coming up with words, maths, collecting the data. And at the bottom line, we're going to understand key things about our business. Because I've often seen people who will try to fix a sales problem with a marketing by trying to fix marketing, or trying to fix a marketing problem by trying to solve sales. Often what I find is that marketing does a pretty good job. Sales is where most people fall down. And so they try to fix the marketing, hoping that the marketing will make sales easier. The biggest mistake I see so many people make that. You're bringing in leads, people saying yes, and you're bringing in people who have conversations with you. And because you can't convert, we want to make the marketing sound better. So what do? We add more words. We give more context. We send people white papers. We give people 15-minute training videos prior to coming onto a call. We think if I just give people more stuff, they'll sell easier. And all you're doing is putting a wall of information between you and the prospect. Marketing's job is to get you a yes. Sales' job is to turn that small yes into a bigger yes. Turn it into a yes, I'm interested, into a yes, let's do this. So you have to be very cognizant that today, the goal is not to get you a sale today. The goal is to get you a lead. What you do with that lead becomes a sales function, right? I just want to preface this whole conversation because I've seen people spend months and months and months and months tinkering with their LinkedIn campaigns when the LinkedIn campaign is doing just fine, but it's the ability to articulate and demonstrate in front of a real life person. that they're falling down. Is it making sense, everybody? Just in the chat, give me a yes or yes if this is making sense before we go on. Landing, context is important because it's not just about writing a lead message. If I could solve all your problems with a lead message, I would give you happily a lead message from the moment you enter this program. I would give you everything. There's a lead message, abracadabra. It'll open up the chamber of secrets. A genie would pop out. You'd rub the lamp, 3 wishes, everyone would be happy. I wish I would give you the genie, right? I swear to God, that's my goal I'm trying to create a genie as we speak for you guys. So what I'd like to do now is we're going to brainstorm some things together. If you have any questions as I go through this, my goal is not to speak for the whole hour. My goal is to give you ideas to perturbate your thinking and have you ask questions in the chat that can make your marketing better today. Whether it's a lead message, an email offer, something to do with marketing, I'm here for you guys today. You have my full unwielding attention. So please, if there's anything, even if it's a silly question that you think is a silly question, or you are a bit worried about asking a question because you're the first person to ask the question, please, Vorno, myself are here to make sure that you get your questions answered, okay? It's important. Even if you don't agree with something I'm saying, let's have a chat about it. This is why this works, is if you bring something to these calls as well, right? Cool. So I want to get clear on a couple of things with lead messages. So when I think about the 80-20 rule, what I'd like to do is I would like you, everybody, to do this. Everyone ready? I'd like you to draw 2 lines and then 2 lines. It should leave you with about 9 boxes. 9 boxes. And over here, I want you to put a square. So it should look like a hashtag and a square. And we're going to brainstorm some things today. A couple of things that you want to write down. There's 3 rules, okay? 3 rules before we go into it that you need to apply to this. The first rule is it needs to be short, personal, expecting a reply. Spear. So if I was to summarize it for you, short and personal. Okay, short and personal. If you want me to define what short and personal means, no more than 2 sentences. Personal, I don't want you to sound like a robot. You need to sound like a friend. So before I move on, in the chat, someone from the back of the room, what does SPEAR stand for? What does it stand for? Just so I know I'm not the one speaking. I'll pause. You guys tell me, what does SPEAR stand for? Short, personal, expecting a reply. Yes, Rosa, nice, love it, cool. And what does short mean, someone? What does personal mean? What does short mean? What do I mean by short? How long should it be? And personal, what does that mean? In the chat, let me know. 2 sentences, sound like a friend. Love it. You guys, good. Brilliant. SPEAR. Okay, tangible. Lead messages that work best, usually, 99.9% of the time, will attract better outcomes if it's something that people can measure and something they can see. I can't see confidence and I can't necessarily measure happiness. So telling somebody I'm going to help you feel more confident is not necessarily going to get you the outcome you want, because there's a difference between a fact and a feeling. I'm just going to say this quickly. A fact and a feeling. A fact is something that when it happens, I can say, black or white, it happened, yes or no, right? Black or white, it happened, yes or no. Feelings are something that changes moment to moment, day to day. It's hard to define how to get somebody to feel happy. And what I've known after doing this for many, many years, thousands of campaigns, it's normally a fact that dictates a feeling. So something has to happen for somebody to feel confident. Very rarely does someone just wake up feeling confident, happy, angry, motivated, or inspired. 99.9% of the time, they're feeling those things because something has happened. An event has taken place, an objective has been reached, a result has been achieved, and they are feeling a certain way as a result. right? Feelings are very good for marketing in terms of branding and videos, but when it comes to direct messaging, facts trump feelings, right? Facts trump feelings. I need to know what you are talking about in terms of time, money, right? Usually it's those two things. Can you, now some of you might be like, but my market's different, Rana. Like it's not, they don't want time. It's not about that. I get it. I absolutely get it. I'm just saying for the most part, time, money, or energy, right? Energy, which means convenience or efficiency, is the reason why people will move. Some level of performance is usually what people either are missing or want more of. Cool? Spear, tangible. The next thing is time. When you send out messages, I don't want you to send out 3 messages and then go, well, it didn't work. Until you've sent out 100 messages of this particular type, don't question whether something works or doesn't work because you send out 10 and you don't get a response within a day. People don't get into LinkedIn that often in the same way that people get a lot of emails. So what I like to think of is you want to give it 7 to 31 days, around there, probably more like 30 days. So from the moment you send a message, you want to give somebody 30 days before you track, measure, and make any meaning out of what you've got. If you're doing a paid ads campaign, it's very different because the platform and the algorithm is driving results, right? We're sending people to a page, we're getting them to opt into something, we're paying for that privilege. When it comes to organic, we're messaging people. So what I'd like to do is over on this, in this box, I would like you to put 2 things. Who do you help? And what is the actual outcome? Like the big outcome, if you were that genie in the lamp and you rub the lamp, what's the wish or the outcome that they would want to see? Not just feel, but they would want to see. What would they describe it as? Would they describe it in terms of time saved, money earned, money saved, a process that's been put in place that's giving them a very specific outcome? Would they be paying for to feel like you're minimizing risk, helping them become more compliant? What would it be? So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes and I want you to put down who and what. And then I'd like you to pop it in the chat for me, please, when you're ready. Alrighty, here we go. Time flies. Rock and roll. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. So I've got, does anyone need more time? If you need more time, just put the word time in the chat so I know. Anthony's got self-employed coaches and consultants to create and monetize a 10K month online coaching program. Sweet. Hey, if you're enjoying what you're hearing so far, please like, subscribe, and comment. Getting this out to more people is why we do it, and hearing from you makes it all worthwhile. So please let us know. And by the way, if you'd like more information about the Expert Project, head on over to expertproject.com/launch, where you can tell us a bit more about your business, what you might be needing, how we might be able to help, and book a call with one of our team so we can help you grow your consulting business today. Okay, leads and sales for growth of business. Cool. So, couple things. The more specific you can be, right? The more specific you can be, the more engagement you will get. So, version 1, you guys are all nailing it. Version 2, it helps if you can put, where possible, a number or something in front of or inside of your in your offer. It's not always that easy to do. I'm just saying one of the things that we'll eventually want to get to is, for example, with leads and sales for growth of business, right? What type of growth is that meaning? What level? Is it to $1 million? Is it to hitting 100K months? What is it? When you create a destination for somebody, you create you can then create a pathway to achieving that. Now, the question would be, but Rana, not everybody wants $1 million business. Not everyone wants a $100,000 business. Some people want more. Again, your big offer, the thing that you want to lead people to, is a signal. It's not a concrete promise. If I say to someone, I'm going to help you grow your business, I sound like everybody else. If I say I'm going to help you get to 40K months, I can now go, okay, yeah, cool. Like, I don't just want coffee, I want Arabica coffee, right? You've just gone, one layer deeper. So I call it like you got a niche down again. So your niche in your offer might be leads and sales for business growth. I get it, it's growing business, but what does that look like? How do I know you've grown my business? Add an extra, get to a. So that's important that you nail it down. Same deal if I come up here and I say, you know, like, and Rose, you've just kind of getting your mind through this. Increased network customer base. Interesting. All right, like what could that look like if we put numbers around it? Now, not always easy. It's just to stretch your mind and start thinking about it in a different way. So these are just suggestions from me today for everybody. Increase revenue. Yep. Like, and the other thing too is potentially you might say to, you know, because you work with some big companies. So, you know, putting a number might be challenging, but in the same way, you know, if you were to put a number, I'll give you an example, increase revenue by over 15%, right? Now, you might say, yes, but people want more than that. That could be billions of dollars for a company. I'm just trying to like give you a like, when you add something to it, it makes it more real in people's mind. You've done it, get a 10K a month coaching program. So Andy could have said, create and monetize an online coaching program, but he's gone and added 10K. So now I know I'm just starting up. I don't have a 10K. I'd be interested to talk to about it. That's the step one. And I'll leave that for you. For now, I'm good. We don't need to go that deep. That's a whole nother masterclass. But to get to this point here, to achieve this goal, there is 9 things that they're missing. 9 things. 9 problems that they're having that are stopping them from achieving that goal. And they're tangible. They're normally things that they can actually go, yeah, we are losing a staff member. We aren't generating weekly leads. We are losing sales. We are letting go of people. They're problems that they're having. They can actually look at and they are struggling with those problems. So what I'd like you to do, you've got 9 boxes. I'm going to give you 3 minutes and I want you to fill up these 9 boxes with as many problems as you can that link to the possibility that you're offering, right? That is stopping people from achieving that possibility. So 3 minutes, 9 problems, keep them as tangible as possible. Let's go. Think of it like brainstorming. How are we doing? How are we going, guys? How many did we get so far out of 9? How many we get? Put a number in the chat. You get a 1, you get a 6, you get a 3, you got a 9, you got 15. He's got 9. All right. 8. Cool. Very good. Love that. Beautiful. All right. 12. Okay. Can you put down into the chat the top 3 problems? Now, here's the thing. Remember, as I said, 80-20. 20% of those problems are probably going to give you 80% of the interest that you want. 20% of those problems on a page is probably going to get you 80% of the interest that you want. So what I'd like to suggest is, this is where marketing is 1 part creativity and 1 part science and maths. What do you believe? Let me ask this question. What do you believe your client wants? Not what you think they need, but what do you think they want? What are the 3 problems or things that they would want solved out of those 9, 8, 12 that you've got? And I'd like you to put them in order of importance or however you want, 1, 2, 3 in the chat so I can have a look. Could you do that for me? That would be great. Let's have a look, see what you've got. Right. And Vorno, when you see a couple in there, mate, do you want to read them out? Let's do this.
See who's brave enough to go first, Rans.
Oh no, they're typing. It takes time to type. I agree. If you haven't had coffee yet, typing is a thing.
Typing is hard. All right, AMAC. Number 1, they need a lead gen process, so no leads. They need a sales conversion process, so no sales. And number 3, online program design blueprint. So they don't know how to design it. They lack the knowledge to design it or what to do with it. Lack of expertise or knowledge. Team is already stretched. Budgetary constraints. Reduce cost pressures. They have no risks. Avoid bad surprises.
Cool. So what I get you guys to do is think about it now like this. This is great, by the way. Thank you, Arne. Thanks, those who are still typing in. Don't know how to close sales. Great. Leads to. What I'd like you to do is go a layer deeper and here today for fun. And for all of you, you can do this. So when you say lack of expertise and knowledge, around what? Right? Just specifically around what particular topic, right? So let's just go that. Team is already stretched. What does that mean specifically? Stretched doing what? And what should they be doing? Budgetary constraints, why? Why are there budgetary constraints? What's happening that's causing the budgetary constraints? So those are the three questions I'd love you to answer, because that's where the offer is going to come out. Reduce cost pressure. Okay, what's an example of reducing cost pressure specifically? Have no risks. What does that mean specifically? Like, is there a specific example that you could frame up? Avoid any bad surprises. What does that mean? Bad surprises such as what? What's an example of a bad surprise? So let's get specific with it. Don't know how to close sales. Great. Leads to sales conversion is low. Great. Script and sales process is missing. Great. They're all pretty tangible, mate, but that's looking good. So what I want to do is, and Vorno, if you need to tic-tac with, while I'm talking, if anyone needs to tic-tac with Vorno on what they're thinking or feeling, you can just put it in the chat and Vorno will help you. We're going to choose one offer ultimately. So I'm going to give you a bit of time and to answer those questions in the chat so I can have a look. And then we're gonna write a message. So just while I got you here, mate, like you're in a space where you've written lead messages for a while. You're in a tangible space similar to us. What have you found to be one of the best lead messages or the best messages that have got the best response for you? Out of interest, if you know, I'd love to get your thoughts quickly on it and just to share with people while and Anya's kind of dialing that in a bit. What would you say?
I think probably it's probably the initial one where I'm sort of alluding to have you been thinking about putting together an online coaching program, but you're unsure how to start. That tends to attract people who have been thinking about it and at least want to have the conversation. So what does that involve? That's pretty much where that leads. The second one probably relates to leads.
Okay, what do you mean by that? What would you say about leads?
Are you struggling to generate leads for your coaching program? You know, I'm working with a small group of coaches and consultants to help them improve their lead flow. Are you interested?
Yep. Okay, great, got it. And so one of the things I find as well is, and this is great, really good, thank you, is that why I'm doing this is because I think about a small problem linked to a bigger outcome, right? So, for example, so I'll take for example, because is in an industry that is a little bit like, you got that are very much like sales marketing, right? Great. And then you got who's kind of in a space where it's not sales and marketing necessarily driven, right? And by the way, do you want to just jump off mute for a second and help me and describe what it is that you do for everyone here, just so I can get the context as well and everyone can understand you. So everyone.
Oh, hi, everyone. Hi, good to be here. So the business is so predominantly multicultural audiences, whether that's through strategic communications or media relations, stakeholder engagement. There's a whole different range of strategies to reach these communities.
Yeah, right. And if you say, what is the big outcome? Just going back, what is the outcome if you were the genie in the bottle for these guys? What's the big outcome that they would want from you?
So they would then want to create like a new sort of connection, a new pool of customers or members or whatever it might be, for, which is, an audience that they haven't been able to reach before, or they have tried and it hasn't been successful.
And why do they want that?
Because, people that don't speak English who might not fall into their usual marketing channels also want to use their products and services. And, you know, they've got money to spend, you know, there's just an untapped market.
Okay. So untapped market. So if the companies you work with in your space were able to attract a new pool of customers and reach this untapped market, what's the benefit to that company?
Increased revenue, increased customer base, you know, broader brand recognition, you know, customer loyalty, lots of things.
Right. So what you just said there, so this is just to give you an example to and for everyone. When I first heard said increased network and customer base, love it, right? One of the things you didn't say, and this is the difference, right? And I think this is the marketing and the consultant coming through. The marketer in me goes, I help you increase revenue by linking you by increasing your customer base or helping you tap into a new market, right? So you have to lead with the thing, because what they're actually, they don't necessarily, and again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what they are actually thinking and not saying is that if we can tap into a new market and you can help us build a bigger pool of customers and members, our company will be more financially viable and successful.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you need to do is for the fun of it, and we will help you shape this, is almost go the way that you're probably not comfortable necessarily right now with, but lean into the fact that you help them build revenue and grow their company by doing this thing.
Yeah.
So now if I go back to the offer, this lead message, one of the things that you can do is, if I go back to the three things that you said, is, I'm helping. What kind of companies would you say that you work with? What kind of companies?
So future perfect client would be a medium-sized superannuation fund or a smaller bank.
Yep. So I'm working with medium-sized organisations like yours to help them increase their customer base so we can build more sustainable revenue. Is that something you'd be open to? So as an example, see how all I've done is I'm leading with a small problem.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you, we're talking about a small problem that they can't do. So you're looking about increasing members or connections or networks, right? So one of the things that you're going to do is help them link, build, create, so that it gives them more revenue potential. And underneath that, all the things that you said, revenue potential, brand recognition, brand loyalty, bigger customer base, sustainability, all of that is underneath. But ultimately, what they are thinking and may not be saying is that I'm helping to do this so that companies can increase their revenue. Without sounding mercenary, I'm just kind of giving you a frame to start looking at what you do, so that, you know, companies can identify what you do and go, I'd love to talk about how you can help us increase our customer base, how you can help us connect with a more diverse group of people, how we can bring on, increase our network, explore new communities. Because if we can do that, the upside is, for us, it's more revenue, and we can help more people, and we can expand our brand mission, vision.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. So does that?
Oh my gosh, I could cry because, yes.
Yeah. Cool. So for today, that's where I'd like you to just sit with this and stay with that as you're starting to move through these first couple of steps, right?
Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks everyone for listening and being patient.
You're welcome. It's not easy to share. You did well. And love that. And so energy prices are up. Stick to given business model. Okay. So what I want to do is help you all write a lead message now. In the background, I just want to be upfront with everyone here. In the background, we're building out a suite of tools. And the suite of tools is designed to help you take your thinking and build a sequence. I have a beta test here today. Beta test. When I mean beta test, after today, this is going to be changed and moved into another secret system that we're going to launch in the intensive. But what I'd like you to do is, who would like to be a guinea pig or volunteer? You know what? Let's do you. Let's guinea pig you. Let's get you up here to guinea pig my little helper, right? And then I'm going to give everybody access to it just for today only, before I take it away, to see how you go. This could be a colossal failure, but this could be an amazing thing. But would everyone be okay if we just guinea pig it? And are you up for that if we guinea pig it?
Sure, yes, I'm up to it.
Let's do it. All right. So what I'm going to do is, let's do it. I'm going to share my screen. Give me a moment. By the way, this is pretty fresh, so just work with me here. But this is kind of taking my thinking, and I'm just building my brain around it as we go. So hopefully that works. Cool. So, okay. So what I'm going to do, so let's ask the questions that we've asked a million times before, and then I'll give everybody access to this and we can have a play. Just let it do its thing. It's just thinking. So, all right. So your audience, let's go back to the top, is C-level executives. Would that be right?
Yes, in larger companies usually, as of 250 employees or so.
Yep. Cool. Let's do this, and then I'll give you we can have a play. Okay. How you help them, increase revenue, productivity. Let me take everything that you've given me, and I'm going to give you the other version that you did. There it is. Cool. So let's define the big promise by breaking it down in one sentence. What's the main transformation they want when they work with you? Increase profitability without major restructuring, boost profitability, productivity, and revenue without existing assets, or find efficiency gains without adding headcount. What would it be?
I would take the second one.
Second one. Cool. All right. Mini offers. Let's have a look. So here's the idea. Instead of leading with a big promise, we offer small, low-risk, practical outcomes that move toward it. For example, instead of saying boost productivity and revenue, we might say things like identify 2 to 3 underused assets that can generate quick wins, create a small dashboard to track performance and spot inefficiencies, streamline one key process to free up 10 to 15% of capacity. What are 3 small specific outcomes that you could help with? Or let's choose one for now.
I would take the second one again because I've got a perfect tool to do so.
Great. It's just doing its thinking, doing a lot of thinking, doing a lot of writing. Okay, look at that, time flies. Give it a second, and then, but I think just to come back to what you said here, a simple dashboard to track performance and spot inefficiencies, that's actually a really good starting point in itself, right? Because lack of energy, just like net zero across the world. Not to go too much into it, but yeah, how good's that? Here we go. Let's try this. I'll do a reset. Sometimes it actually does it. You just can't see it. Pop. Cool. So anyway, but that's actually a really good, I really like that as an offer. Uncover hidden profit leaks, optimize resource allocation. Nah, just one. Yep, I'm going to go for number 1. So to give you an idea, this is like, again, see how it builds it out. Yeah. Would you like me to include your company brand name in the message? Nah, that's okay. Nope. And so what we'll do, hopefully this will punch out what I'm thinking, what I've asked it to do. So we'll see if it does it. But that dashboard thing could be a really good way to steer your offer to that, because visibility is often the first part of the problem. And when people don't have something visible, when it's not visible, they can't make any decisions. If you could create something like, so you've already got a tool and it's visible to them, then you can create your bigger products, a bigger product suite from there. Let me try this now. Right, here we go. Nope. I really think that building a little dashboard or something like that is an easy, like that that'd be great. Okay. This is it. Mini offer. Here we go. Yes, let's go. And it's probably it's just running on empty, I think. Good old chat GPT. This is why you can't rely on the machines. It's why we do have our brains, which I'll give it to you if we don't, because I could write it with you. But nope. Yep. Cool. Right. So this is my little test that I've been working on, right? So, hi name, thought I'd connect with you on LinkedIn. Great. Thanks for connecting. I often speak with executives who are under cost pressure but still need to lift performance and revenue without adding resources. Curious if that's something on your radar too. Let me know, right? Something fairly simple. Then, hey, hi, or however we want to say it. I've been helping a few leadership teams create simple dashboards that make performance gaps visible, often uncovering quick wins without new spend. Would you be open to seeing how that works in practice? Great. It's a nice message. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're just trying to offer help. Hey, name, just bumping this in case it slipped past your inbox. So this is like, and then we've got like another version. So what I've done is I'm creating these tools to give everybody choice. So this one's a little bit more confident. I work with exec teams, optimizing productivity and revenue under tight cost conditions. Thought it'd make sense to connect. Many leaders I speak with are under pressure to deliver more with what they already have. Same resources, tighter margins. That's the space I focus on. Let me know if I can ever be of help. I help exec teams set up performance dashboards that reveal inefficiencies and hidden opportunities for quick ROI. Would it make sense to show you a quick example? There's actually good wording in both of those, Anya, that I think you could play with. And then the other one is natural. Thanks for connecting. A lot of execs I talk to are feeling cost pressure. Energy prices are up, sales soft, but still expected to drive growth. Sound familiar? Like we could probably make that a little bit better. Let me know if I can ever be of assistance. I have some resources that could be helpful. That's how I would end that. Lead message. I help leadership teams build a simple dashboard that shows where performance is leaking, usually helps find 1 or 2 quick wins fast. Would that be useful to you right now? So there's 3 variations of these messages that I think could be really helpful for you. So what I'll do is I'll give you these one at a time, Anya, because there it is. There's number 1, and then, right. And then we've got a couple of tools coming up that's going to be a surprise for you guys, but we're just building a few at the moment. So right, there you go. Have a look at those. Cool. So what we'll do is I'm going to give this to you for the day as well, and everyone who was here for 24 hours. The condition is, if you use it, can you please post in the arena what your thought is and feedback, because that's what I'm needing now is feedback for these things. Otherwise, it's and then we're going to move it into. I'll show you this. So we're building our own little expert consulting OS. So all of our tools are going to be on the side. So we're going to have we'll have our money model maker. We'll have our LinkedIn lead sequence builder. We're going to have our proposal printer, promotion builder, email automation sequence. All of the things are going to be here. So you guys, and the more you use this tool, the smarter it will be, and you'll be onboarded at the start via an AI. We're just prototyping that now, and then it will remember all the details about you. So the more you use it, the smarter it will get, and then you'll have, you can use it to power all your campaigns and things like that. And I think the good news is, Anya, with this, we can probably program it language-wise, so you could use it in German, right? So that's even better. So that's come to the intensive, and we'll share all that with you. Let me double check to see whether this is working. I'll give this to you guys, and then have a play, right, with what we've learned today. Pop it into the sequence and let me know how you go. Anyone with the link, copy, save, and then for the next 24 hours, I'll have it up, and then we're going to be, here we go. I will be taking it down as we sort of work with it, but there you go. Just let me know you got that okay, and have a play. Perfect. Cool. Works okay? Got it. Rockin'. So Anya, have a play with those as well. Anya, the messages I got, I think there's a couple of like good version 1 and version 2, and that would be interesting to play with and even send out as an email to a few people. Try it. The next step for it is to get a message, everybody, You don't need to change everything, but try sending this message out to a few people who were interested maybe a few months ago, and reach out to them, say, hey, I'm doing this. Would you be open to it? Anyone that's gone cold, anyone that maybe was interested once and sort of fell off, try sending this new message to them, because it's ultimately about testing the messaging. Cool. This has been helpful. Anya, Anthony, Rahil, been helpful today? Just let me know. Thumbs up. Good. All right. Lovely seeing you guys again, as always. And we'll catch up super soon. And keep an eye on the arena. We've got some big announcements coming up. There's some big stuff in the works. So, all right. Have a fantastic day. Lovely evening to you. Anya, take care, everyone. Bye for now. See ya. If you've liked today's masterclass, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and comment so we can hear from you and get this out to more consultants just like you who are looking to grow their practices to 500K and beyond. Helping consultants find their true worth and commercialize it in the marketplace is why we exist. If you'd like to learn how you can grow your consulting business, head on over to expertproject.com. Learn a bit more about what we do, download some more of our free resources, or follow us on social media. We'd love to hear from you. And if you want a direct access link into one of our teams so we can learn a bit more about your business, what you're wanting to create, and how we might be able to help, head on over to expertproject.com/launch. Give us a bit of detail about you, your business, and we look forward to having a chat with you and helping you grow your consulting business. In the meantime, take care and bye for now.